Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Sudarshana Starshine Star. If you're new here, please hit the like button and remember to hit the notification bell. That really helps. Thank you so much. I'm going to be presenting today part 4 of Jesus as I Saw Him, as Told by Mary, a book by Philip Lipetz, PhD. He's one of my Sai family brothers, meaning that we have the same Swami, Sri Kailashwar Swami of Penakonda Ashram, Andhra Pradesh State, India. And I'm going to be ringing the bell, and as I do with all of my clips, I'm going to open with the 3 opening prayers, which are the Guru Mantra, the Ganesha Mantra, and the Gayatri Mantra. Okay, let's go. Om, Om, Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam, Tasmahi Sri Guruvena Namaha. Om Suklam Bharataram Vishnum Seshivarnam Chatobhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vigno Prashantaye. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All right, here we go. I'm going to start. I haven't been reading from this book in chronological order. So where I'm going to start right now is going to be a chapter titled headed, The Mystery of Infant Jesus Brings Love. And this was dated September 4th, 2012. And this is Mary speaking to Philip. Everyone hears the infant Jesus as their heart opening. Stay silent and see what you want is there at every moment. It is a bird that flies by and never alights. You think you cannot digest this world, but what you cannot digest is the lack of love. How can you exist without love? You cannot. Can other people? Some think they can, but then they live in hell, a concept that my son never talked about, a human invention to describe how it feels to live without love. A baby can only love. So everyone loves a baby. Philip speaking. I see the small hand of a child, of the baby Jesus. I hear a small cry from the baby. Then I hear music. And then a choir of angels singing. Then I realize that they are not angels, but people of this world. This is Mary again. When they feel the source of love, then they sing. They cannot stop. It is moments like this that keep them alive. Your entertainment allows them to hear his small cries as they sit in a blackened room. It is the meditation that keeps them alive. The real question is how to hear that cry at all times, at all moments. Time does not exist. It is the supreme illusion. And if time does not exist, then distance does not exist. And if distance does not exist, then separation is only an illusion. Hearing the cries of the infant Jesus is a gift I give today. Go about your day and hear those small cries. Everyone can hear the same small cries. It is the music of the universe. It is the sound of your heart opening. You need an open heart if you are to hear what I will tell you. You think your heart is open, but it is as closed as the hand of a child grasping candy. The candy you hold on to is not this world or the next, but the response of others. You think that they will take your candy. You say no and close your heart. Hear the sound of my son crying. Listen to it today. Listen. Philip, I hear the sound fade and come. It is like the wind. Am I hearing it, or do I only want to hear it? Mary, what is the difference? What you call this illusion is not how I or my son sees reality. Let a cloud of unknowing descend as you start to live a life like my son. You are not my son, but everyone can taste his life in yours. I have to teach you that mystery. Stop looking on him and do not try to become him. Only follow the sound of his small cries. Philip, he leads me to sleep. Mary, because that is when you listen and do not speak. There is a small part that we all escape to when we sleep, and that part listens. Now you have to listen while awake. Only then can I lead you to the mystery I have to reveal. Philip, I see the fallen angels. Mary, hear my son. Philip, there is a brief glimpse of infant Jesus asleep. Mary, your mind still wants to see, and I want to take you beyond knowing into a place where you see as well as hear, but that comes only when you are befuddled with sleep, and only until you learn what I'm trying to show you. Suspend the mind and just listen. Philip, now the future starts to mix with the cries of her son. I am in Los Angeles without getting on the airplane. Philip, what is real? Mary, does it matter? What matters is how you live now and forever. Philip, is there immortal life? Mary, the real question is if there is mortal life. Is what you feel, touch, and taste real? What is real? Am I real? Or you? Does it matter? Just listen to the cries of my son. Just listen, and the next mystery will start to reveal itself. Here's a chapter headed, Find God's Love in Your Neighbor. September 5th, 2012, Los Angeles, California, Mary. The love you know in dreams rests in your neighbors. It is in sleep that you loosen the mind so much that you can live in love. Your dreams just distract the mind so that your soul can be fed. It needs its food, and that food is love. I am an extension of the dream, but it is the dream that you can live in another way. Everything will come if you only learn to love your neighbors as God, just as my son said. That is the ultimate extension of the dream. Most people dream to know love as it arises from our Father to create, but you can know the same love in your neighbors. Jesus' love is the power of creation. It will have the same creative power if you let it fill you as fully as it filled my son, or as completely as it is our Father. It did not fill our Father. It is the mystery that is our Father, so it cannot fill him. It is him. Your minds will find some reason to do that. It appears to us as love, some physical symptom that explains why it is creative. But it is only necessary to understand that it is the ultimate love, the thing we experience as love. The reason the world loves my son is that he brought that love into lives that were filled with desperation, and he still does. He is not the only channel, but he is the purest channel to that love, since he was born from that love directly. He was that love in his purest form, yet to walk on this earth. You cannot understand my son until you know that. And you cannot understand what I want you to do or what he will give you until you start to understand that his love is different from how you think of love. Love is the power of creation, the logos that creates. It is in all things, but especially in other people. Seek other people to find the mystery of this love. Real love takes you beyond time. You do not explain Jesus' love. You can only love. Love that what the mind knows fully cannot be love. The mind flows from love. You have to understand what it means to understand, to know. Knowledge is not some intellectual logic, but it is a union with something, so that you know much more than what a thing is as you look at it. When you know from love, you know the flow of creation, so that you know the thing or the person as they were in the past, as they are now, as they will become. Love is beyond time, and so it is the only way to live out of time. Real love is the first step beyond the illusion that time is the great jail you are born into and the great finality that will claim you and make you go away. When you know love, you escape that lie and enter into a breath of heaven brought to earth, a place where time does not exist, and so you are eternal and free. Love beyond time removes limits. The way you see time creates the limits that surround you. With an unchangeable past and present, you limit what God can give you. When you start to include the future, then you include something that is yet to be known, so it can be much more. Living beyond knowing means to live in so much love that you no longer know what this world has given, but live only in what this world can give. You live in a constant state of amazement at what this world can give. The ultimate amazements are called miracles, but you do not have to see them that way. Just see them as part of the natural potency of our Father as He loves. See the reflection of God's love in all people. You can approach that love not as something distant, but as something that is in all things and in all people. There is nothing that is not God. His creation is only His breath and is never separate from Him. But you cannot hold the totality of His creation. What you can do is start to learn how to find the part of you that mirrors what He is. It is less, but at the same time it is equal for the small part of the universe that walks in the cloud of knowing that defines your life. When you hear someone talk, you are part of them, but you are also distant. The reason that you should love your neighbor as God is that you have to learn to find that union in distance, and that union is felt strongest in other people who also were born to find the true love that fills everything. When they speak, their words are just pleas to that love, just pitiful attempts to become the breath of God as it goes beyond past and present and links to a future that is indefinite. Escape the dream. This life is a dream that seems real, so you cannot escape. My son did not live in that dream, and so the water turned to wine when I asked. He could not help but respond to me, and the water could not resist becoming wine. I, my son, and the Father combined in love to make this happen, and loving my own son was easy. This meditation I gave on my infant son was the first step into learning to love the source of all things, as it is when it is not fully defined, when it is still full of becoming, when it does not have so much of a past that you think it cannot change, when your heart responds with the real love. That is why we love babies, because it fills us with the real love. Love must be shared. I have been training you to move from what you thought was love and into the real love. You no longer keep our words as secrets that you will reveal only a dozen years after they were spoken. That secrecy is what robbed those worlds of the power to flow into the world and to prevent the disasters that people are bringing on themselves. I gave you a love, and love is real only when it is shared. So loving your neighbor is only a way to take the love of God, the love that is the breath of our Father, and to make it flow from the past and present and into the future. Love must be shared. Then it will become more than you can imagine. Then reality will change from water, something we all need, and into wine, something that fills our hearts. That happens only when you learn how to love your neighbor. Think of Jesus as the future. I come because it fills me with love to share the love of my Son. He was here to show how to live in a human body and be that love. He was the purest form of that love. But when you think of him as some distant past, or something that might visit you in a moment of grace. What he was trying to give was an experience of that love as the future. When you hold that love as the future, then you escape the prison of matter your mind creates. Live in past, present, and future to know heaven. Know all three as the love of our Father, as past, present, and future in one, and then you will move from limit to expansion, from being a leaf blown aimlessly by the wind into becoming the breath of God. That is the wind. Miracles are what is possible when you love with the breath of God. And then that love spreads into another person so much at the limits of quote-unquote me start to melt. Heaven is the place where those limits do not exist. My Son was the breath of our Father blowing through the world, and was felt by others, so that my Son was not limited by past and present, but flowed into the miracle that we call the future. Live in the past, present, and the future, and then you will start to know the mystery of loving your neighbor. You talk to your neighbor to create some future. You are with them as you scan for what will unfold. Now take that and multiply it with the power of God's breath, and the fullness that you call grace will not descend on you, but will be part of you. It will arise and pull you into the future. Live in what I gave you, and we will speak later of how that love of your neighbor is known best in the mother's womb, and that it is part of the greatness of women, who are born knowing that they will love so much that the future will enter them. Take this and live in this place beyond time, and see what that creates, the expansion you will experience today. All right, and that is the end of what I'm going to read for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me show you this beautiful book cover. Jesus as I Saw Him, as Told by Mary, by Philip Lipetz, PhD. Thank you for being here with me. Please remember to like this video and to hit the notification bell so you can receive all the content that I put out as soon as I do. Thank you so much for being here, and now I'm going to do the closing prayer. What I'm saying is, God bless all beings in all worlds. Om, 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. God bless you and yours, and I'm sending you all my love and big hugs. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.